What is good, everyone? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Wire series. We are on episode 4 of season 3 today, and it is called Hard Cases. Last episode, so much dope shit went down. We got reintroduced to Omar this season and saw that he's now working with a little new crew. He's got these two women he's just made friends with and his new boyfriends that are like a little team of 4 just now. We just saw Valchek threaten Burrell with information that he had about the Barksdale case and following the money and shit. And he said to Burrell, you know, I want a real detail for my case. And Burrell was like, done. And he said, I want that Daniels guy that led the Barksdale case. And Burrell wilted. So Daniels is getting pulled out of fucking evidence and gets to lead a case again, and I cannot be happier because it's like the old Avengers are beginning to slowly reassemble again. That shit at the prison, like, obviously we're gonna find out whether that was pre-planned, whether it was a purposeful bad batch, or whether it was an accidental bad batch. If Avon was saving D'Angelo's life with that speech, or that was just all completely coincidental. I mean, surely it's not a coincidence. Bucci must have cooked up a bad batch to move into that prison to have that effect. Avon knew it. Avon also knew D'Angelo was currently sniffing, so he had to have that speech with him to save his life. If he decided to not listen to Avon, he would have died, but D'Angelo listened to Avon and he saved his life because of it. All in all, I cannot wait to see where the shit is about to go from everything they just set up in the last episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is episode 4, Hard Cases. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. Also, I forgot to say, I like how last episode we thought Frank was just giving that worker some $10 for a shot and a beer and shut the fuck up, but it was actually some coded shit to get a good bit of helping money from the bar.
Every morning I ask myself, is today the day I drive down to Fort Armistead to stare out at the harbor? No, I figure eventually, if I mind my own business, Uncle Frank will call, wake my ass up at 7 in the goddamn morning.
I wouldn't be sarcastic like that when you just stole 400 digital cameras off his dock, you little shit.
Why offload in Baltimore except that the Baltimore gang will turn your ship around faster than any other port?
He knows where this is going now.
I'm serious. They come back today, we tell the shipper we lost a cannon of stacks.
They're gone. We turned them over already.
Fucking hell. Now this is gonna create problems.
I don't need this shit right now.
I do, Uncle Frank. I need the money.
God damn it! You ain't hearing me!
What, do you think this shit is easy, huh?
So Frank is Ziggy's dad and Nicky's uncle. I get it now.
You got Ziggy mixed up in this? Jesus, Nick, the fuck are you thinking? Me and Zig are gonna talk on this long and hard.
I'm surprised he doesn't just fire them both, to be honest. They're both clearly on some waste man shit around his docks, and like he said, his docks are struggling just now. You need all the hard workers you can get. There's hard workers struggling for hours. This is nepotism at its finest.
How much?
20. 3-way split.
Nobody should flash too much money, you know that much, right?
See, now he's being cool about it. That'll just encourage them to do it again in future, man. What's the point of even having that talk with him if you're gonna be cool about it 2 seconds afterwards? Either you're cool about it or you're not. What was the purpose of that conversation? To dissuade him from doing it? Because the conversation you had with him after that would persuade him to do it again in the future. What's a slap on the fucking wrist? I see people do this all the time. It's so frustrating. Some people are sensible and can learn from a warning. Can learn from a slap on the wrist, and some people need shaking like they were in an earthquake to snap out of the dumb shit they're doing. Tough love. Sometimes it's necessary. Modern psychologists would probably disagree with my views, but trust me, I'm talking from experience. I've seen people turn their life around after an ass kicking. This episode is gonna be so dope. I'm just like sitting in anticipation, like, did Tillman die? That's all I want to know. Was Tillman getting high on his own supply? Because I swear there was one prison guard getting stretchered out of there dead on a gurney. I just don't know if it was Tillman or not. Either way, Tillman is like catching some shit for this. So Greg's saying, if I hear the music, I'm gonna dance. Please tell me that is a quote related to Daniels asking her to join his unit that Valchek just gave him later in the episode. That's the only way I hope it contextually fits as a metaphor to something which would please me, which happens later. Did that make sense? I feel like it made sense. I'll watch it back and be like, ah, shit, that didn't make sense.
We need to show the flag on this. What I'm gonna need is for y'all to wheel and deal.
What do you mean?
But this case gets made from an informant. And you're gonna have a couple of dozen of them, if you're ready to shave some years.
Does that mean that Avon and D'Angelo both inform on that incident and get their years reduced. That is fucking amazing. Shave all them years off. Give D'Angelo instant community service. Kilo of raw heroin. Shh. He's fine. Look at that smile. Kilo of raw coke. Shh. Judge. Look at his face. Not guilty. Pfft. But the man had a kilo of shh.
Got a full set of Eileen Nathan's teeth marks on my hind parts.
No problem, I got you covered.
You found Omar.
I never lost him, my friend.
Of course he just didn't want to give him. He was being spiteful toward the whole division.
Shit.
Who's Omar?
Oh, you will meet him, hopefully. I'd love to see that nice lady police officer. The human version of a Pokemon, really. Cute and cuddly copper over here. Meeting Omar the Terror.
I'm offering to clean the slate here. You and me.
Why?
Council vote is next week, after which I'm upstairs.
Oh, please do it, Daniels. Don't say no, mate.
People you can trust.
And you ain't that. All right. You're a snake.
Fuck you, Burrell. You're a fucking snake, mate.
You do me a good turn on this detail in the Southeast, and you'll have that posting.
It's a good offer.
I value you, Cedric. Look, you're arrogant and disloyal.
What a fucking cunt. He might be a bit sure of himself, but that's because his case was borderline concrete. He was right, was what he was.
I do care that the old Pollock comes away from it feeling he got his money's worth.
Valchek asked for me by name, didn't he? You two are trading horses and you need me in the corral.
Yes, he did. But that's a compliment, if nothing else. Like, I wouldn't be offended by that, Daniels. Yes, Burrell isn't being nice to you for no other reason, but still.
If I bring in a case, you make the detail permanent as a major case unit within CID.
Fair enough.
Oh, wow, this gets better and better. No way. So that means if they bring in a case on the docks, they'll go back to the Barksdale case afterward, and they'll have the full backing.
Fuck me once, shame on you. Fuck me twice.
Make a list. Give it to Rawls. He'll pull who you want.
Oh, fuck. Oh, wow, this season's just gonna get amazing now. I was not expecting this. I was happy with them being scattered. I would have watched the season of Daniels in evidence. It's cool. Daniels in the evidence room would have been quite, philosophical. He would have been analysing small objects and giving long speeches about them to his wife later on. I cannot wait to see the look on Rawls's face when Daniels hands him the list of names he wants on his detail and he's got Valchek's backing. This is gonna be absolutely fucking priceless.
What's up, baby?
I hope he slaps Ziggy for this. That's just brazen. I wouldn't be carrying the fucking stolen camera into this bar on the same dock that I stole it from. What a little dick.
Might get a new clutch. I hate putting princesses on. Also, your father knows. How's he know? Horse sauce, right?
See, when Frank was talking to Nicky about it and he said, even getting Ziggy involved in this, it's like, bro, Ziggy is the fucking lead orchestrator and all dumb shit.
Low profile for a while, alright?
Dejectedly retracting the camera lens.
I gotta take a leak.
I would like to visit a little bar on the docks though. That would be a chill place to... I don't even drink alcohol, but, I'd get a coffee and shoot some pool with a sailor. Fishermen folk. Dock workers. Oh, for fuck's sake, Ziggy. Seriously, bro. Your dad basically runs these docks and you're running around being a fucking 10-year-old in his bar. Seriously, that dude has yet to display a single redeemable fucking quality.
Mr. McNulty, this is Dr. Halpern's office. You missed your 6-month cleaning on Tuesday and we haven't heard from you.
Please tell me Daniels has left him one.
Swore to me we had an eyeball with...
I can't wait to see Daniel's list. Don't tease me. I mean, would Rawls even let McNulty come back on the case? I mean, surely he would look at that name and be like, sorry, no fucking way. But then Burrell might be like, Rawls, give them who he's asked for.
Wipe off the seat, Nick. I know you hit it.
Did hear a little bit of seat splash there. She's got a good ear for a seat splash.
No chance for breakfast, huh?
No.
To be honest, I wish we weren't following Nikki and Ziggy as much, like, from their perspectives, because they're both really dislikable guys. I'd rather see more of Frank and less of them. I get it, they're idiots, they're gonna end up causing a load of shit, they're gonna fuck up a load of shit, they're gonna do some dumb shit, they'll probably get Frank killed or something. I get it. Let me just see Frank more while he's alive, and less of these two little shitheads. What a gentleman. The type to wake you up in the morning with a rose between his teeth.
How do you make a case then?
I patrol. I write traffic tickets. We got an open container or a damaged container.
She has a very boring job down at the docks. She had somewhat of a peaceful life, if anything, until she found that cargo container full of dead bodies, and then the shit amped up about 20.
Did you want to be a police?
She wasn't bothered, she just wanted to make money for her kids. Fair play, I know someone who became a police officer for that same reason. They just wanted a profession for their child, so.
Could have been media of a night.
True.
Except for all of a sudden you up and tell me to stop doing that.
So Avon 100% was in on it.
Figured you was gonna be bringing your ass in here to thank me for pulling you off of that shit.
5 dead. More in the infirmary. How'd you know?
You know, I did as your uncle should. Because I'm concerned about you fucking yourself up.
He should be thanking Avon, because they're gonna get their years reduced as well.
Now, they looking for the motherfucker that brought the shit in here, right? They need him to fall, and you know what? I can give you a name. I can give you the right name. We can take that name on down to the assistant ward.
I love it when a plan comes together. Avon, you fucking genius. This is way more genius than just like fucking that Tillman dude up on the outside, man. Making him take a rap for some shit, and on top of that getting your years reduced in the process. This is some mastermind shit.
Anyone seen Omar?
Oh, was that Omar's old burnt out van? Shit, still just left there from season 1 when Weebay set it on fire. So McNulty was bragging to them lot like, yeah, I always had Omar, what are you talking about? Now he's out on the street like tracing him from the burnt out vehicle. You don't have Omar, do you, McNulty? You've got Omar as much as Bunk and Lester Freeman have Omar.
$2,000 for a single goddamn jacket? Jesus, Zig.
Oh my god. Who saw it coming that Ziggy would not take the advice of Nicky and in fact flash his newfound money from the illegal gains? He just couldn't fucking help himself, could he?
Jesus Christ, Nicky, it's a fucking code. I mean, I can tell people I'm paying for it on installments or whatever. You gotta admit, I do look pretty today. I do.
This guy is the most frustrating character I've probably met on this show yet. He infuriates me, Ziggy does. He's literally an absolute embarrassment to his dad. Don't get me wrong, McNulty's such a good detective that he probably will be able to find Omar just through detective work again. But he was acting to those guys like he had a direct link. He doesn't, he's out in the street hunting.
Gentlemen? We don't need that now.
Say what?
I don't give a shit about drugs. Littering pisses me off, though, so you can pick that shit up when I'm gone. So look, I'm looking for a pickup boy named Omar.
Now, if all police were like McNulty, I would like the police.
Who he's running with. What he's driving.
Fuck you, officer.
They're not fucking stupid. It's gonna be a lot harder to track down Omar than McNulty anticipated, maybe. Just because of the respect he gets from everybody. No one's saying shit.
We need to know more about cargo moving off that terminal. How to do dirt and how to hide when you're doing dirt.
Wonder what Roz is gonna make of this doc shit.
Well, sir, the witness...
I don't care if they were speaking Mandarin Chinese with a cocksucker's lisp. They needed to see the inside of an interrogation room. They were the case.
I agree with Rawls on this one. They should have held the ship for as long as possible. Those guys clearly do speak other languages, so...
So what can I tell you? If this case doesn't fall, we're all gonna be stepping on our dicks trying to explain what happened.
I don't even know what Rawls' mindset is at this point. Like, obviously it's going to look so bad for him if he has that 39% clearance rate, but also he knows he's sticking it to McNulty by Lester and Bunk being fucked with such a difficult case. So I feel like he's sort of even keel about it, like, fuck it, I'm going down, but I'm bringing down that little shit who tried to bring me down. Fuck everyone.
Come back,
Fuck me.
Bubbles! Hey! What you saying, Bubbles? I never thought I'd give you an A, but oi, these A's are involuntary, and apparently Bubbles has warranted an involuntary A. He's trailing the bus, he wants to know. You know, that's not a bad shout as well. Why? Because Bubbles is like the only street guy who will give McNulty information. Probably on Omar, do you know what I'm saying?
How much?
How much chemical? 2 tons? 4? 8?
I'll look into it.
I knew that the way Frank spoke to Nicky about it, that it would encourage Nicky to do this dumb shit again. I knew this was gonna happen.
Nutty! Hey, my man is man.
Get in the car.
Clearly just been shoplifting.
I need Omar.
What, Omar?
You want us to wander around town looking for a crazy motherfucker with a shotgun?
Yeah, it's not the easiest proposition McNulty's given them there. I thought maybe Bubbles would be able to point him in the right direction, but it's a bit of a different story sending Bubbles on a hunt for Omar. I don't think he's matched up well against them for some reason. Although never underestimate a dope fiend's strength, like zombies.
My client will provide accurate information as to the source of the tainted narcotics.
Oh, it's Levy. I like this lawyer.
Your terms? Mr. Barksdale is due for a first parole hearing at 28 months. We'd like to trim that to a year and have your assurances of institutional support for work release and early parole.
Oh, Levy, you're so good at your job, bro.
Anytime any fool do something like shoot the police, it's bad on everyone. And I know you know that my name ain't nowhere on what happened to your friend.
I think what we're asking is reasonable under the circumstances.
Avon and Levy have got the story down pat. This is going well so far.
Consider the offer. But the next time we talk, an assistant attorney general has to be in the room.
I never thought this whole Tillman situation would actually lead to reduced sentencing as well. That is so good. The downside of this is, how is it not going to look to Avon's suppliers that he is in some way informant? I mean, the dude was a fucking heroin kingpin. He already got a slap on the wrist sentence with 7 years. If he comes out after 1 year being a heroin kingpin, he has just befucked the system in ways that will be so suspect to his suppliers and allegiances within the heroin trade. And then D'Angelo, when he's 20, coming out after like 5 or something, do you know what I mean? Maybe get it reduced again. Crazy. But I'm fucking loving it. I mean, I was saying I didn't want to see these guys rot in jail for the rest of the Wire seasons, so...
25 years, I am still ahead almost 7,000.
Pop, you really ought to let me take you up to Pimlico when it opens. Try your system out for real.
Ah, so this is Nicky's father. I don't know if we've seen him yet.
Saw that the Cape Spruance is over at Point West.
Yeah, we offloaded it today.
At least he's still got time to sit and chill with his father. This is perhaps the first redeemable quality he has shown so far.
What's for dinner?
Tuna surprise.
These dock guys and that must be really healthy, just grafting all day and living on seafood. They must have like Olympic level conditioning.
Burrell wants you on this detail, so I want you to.
I need your approval for Freeman, Greds, and Hauk.
Here we go. Here we go.
Good news is I got no problem with anyone on your list. Except McNulty. No McNulty.
Fuck, I knew he was gonna be like this.
You even know what this detail's about, Lieutenant?
Some kind of beef that Velchik has?
2 fucking Polacks pissing on each other's leg.
Yeah, I heard.
Anything to get you out of the basement, huh, Lieutenant?
You've been overruled, Rawls, so what can you say? That's such a shame, though, that he said no to McNulty. Ah, fuck. It's gonna take a lot for McNulty to get back into that division, I feel. Rawls hates him so much.
We're gonna be there in 5 minutes, and they'll still be dumbass frat boys. You gotta start thinking to yourself, what would a lawyer do? Huh? What would a lawyer say?
I guarantee Kima's name was on Daniel's list. She ain't gonna be doing law for much longer. Well, studying law, like, in a legal, lawyery sense.
Ain't no lady.
Yeet.
Bitch, drive it or lose it.
Kimo went straight street cop in a second. Her girlfriend might not be impressed, but we all fucking are. Good on you, Kimo. Don't let that guy rub his ass in your face. You sling him off that truck.
Hot's brother-in-law works there. Might try and touch him. What the fuck they want with those for anyway?
Beats the fuck out of me.
Yeah, what would they want with big vats of chemicals? That's a good point.
No, that's sweet leather.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Clumsy, I guess. But hey, you can just go out and steal a whole can full of baby wipes and just clean yourself up.
Yeah, that guy knows what's up. I like that guy.
I'll tell your wife if you tell mine.
Hey! Oh, it's so good to see the team back together. Especially investigating something like, I kinda agree with, like, stopping, like, human trafficking for sex purposes is fucked up, do you know what I'm saying? Yes, there is people still just trying to make their money, but it's different at the cost of, like, human slavery, basically. That's just, something that's actually good to see them investigate rather than just people selling drugs.
And you saying the stash is across the street in the low rises?
In the second court. They got it up in this one place. They got the boarded up window.
So is that one of the women who works for Omar getting information on another robbery they can do?
Oh.
Anyone got a lot on that wild boy? Likes to pop the shotty.
He looks so fucked up, it's almost uncomfortable to watch him that fucked up.
You want to get with Omar? You need to stand out on one of them corners with a big-ass package. You be talking to that nigga soon enough.
It's actually the best way to get hold of Omar, you know. Wonder what she makes of that. She seems like she's doing a lot of internal thinking there. I wonder what's on her mind about it.
You can't make a case on just some con say-so. We need the dope on the table.
Of course you do. If before the end of business today you effect a search of Correctional Officer Tillman's vehicle, locker, and person, we are confident sufficient evidence will be recovered.
Oh, this is so fucking good. I love the way Levy always just confidently explains the scenario to these motherfuckers as well.
If I ever get you 10, that's the motherfucker that spiked the packages.
You have proof of this? Then we make the case that's there for us to make.
I wonder if they're going to even attempt to go down the route of trying to prove that Avon spiked the packages, or if that's just like, yeah, they know what really happened, but they'll never be able to prove it.
Mary and Joseph, New Orleans. Lieutenant.
Oh, wow. Every time he gets a new one, poor Valchek just gets more destroyed inside.
Understand you asked for me.
My son-in-law can't say enough in your favor. And of course you did him a good turn last year, right?
You want to tell me about this target?
I wonder what Daniels is actually going to make of the lack of gravity behind this case. I mean, it's clearly a personal squabble, but at the same time, it gets him out of that evidence room and back doing what he likes to do. Plus, these bodies tie into it, so it may turn into a much larger case than they first anticipate. Solving a case of 24 murders is incredibly significant.
So who's she writing to?
Oh, there is no name. The letter is for the whole family.
So this is McNulty at the girl's family house, I believe? Or just at someone's house who speaks that language?
The only thing specific she mentions is a church, St. Volodymyr's or St. Vladimir, and a priest, Father Vasil, it says.
Oh, yeah, that is enough. That is enough to track down the church. You never know what might come of that. I think that was a very smart move by McNulty. I think they might get more information from that lead than he first thinks, than we might first think.
Maybe this would be the time for us to get a place.
Well, you could cover that?
And maybe we don't rent. Maybe we try and buy something in the neighborhood.
So he's just speaking to Ziggy about not flashing his money and then he's buying a property outright. I don't know if he can keep that secret from his dock buddies.
What's that ship right there?
Cable ship.
And what's the grey one next to it?
Military sealift.
Nice, good knowledge there. That's a future dock worker in the making. Only getting 2 days a week, 16 hours worth of pay, 18 hours worth of pay.
You're gonna have to search your vehicle, man. Sorry. Search the... What the fuck?
Open it. Or I'm gonna shim the lock, maybe damage your ride.
Yes. Fuck you, Tillman. Yes! This story has went so much better than I could have even anticipated it going. I'm so happy with how this was written. It's fucking genius. Everything about it. The fact that Like it wasn't just some, I was assuming it was just going to be some street shit where they fuck him up or something. No, it was way more calculated and genius than that. It literally is going to lead to Avon getting his sentence reduced to probably a year. Please find heroin. Another sentence I never thought I'd say.
Here, B.
Y'all planted that shit. You fucking know you did.
Yes! Fuck you, Tillman. That is what you get for messing with Avon the Don Barksdale. Thanks for the reduced sentence, bitch.
So that's our space? How'd you get that name?
You need a close-up?
No, we don't need a close-up.
Get in the damn car.
You want me in that car, you need to lock me up. And if that's the way it's going to be, then I want to talk to my shop steward. And he can have an IBS lawyer go with me.
Wow, this guy is not like when they were dealing with the other guys who just complicitly walked to the car with them and shit. That guy had everything in place to make it difficult for them.
Kinda smart for a fat man, isn't he? Alright.
Yeah, that guy just completely blackballed any attempt they had there. It's funny because, like, Bunk and them are used to people just complicitly going along with them.
Where are the detectives who were first to sign?
Dead. To me, anyway. I shipped them humps back to Burrell as fast as I could.
Should have seen Daniel's face there for a second.
That's the beautiful thing about this department. Every fucking brain dead somehow manages to land on his feet.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Hawk's back. No!
I'll leave you to it then.
Hey, Lieutenant. Carver is in the southeast now. I think he's got Sector 2. I mean, it'd be great to have Carver on this, right?
I don't think Daniels will want Carver back after he fed everything they were doing up to Rawls in Season 1. It's the start of the Avengers reassembling.
All we gotta do is figure a way to haul it down to the scrapyard and we're good.
We'll break our fucking backs on this thing, man.
Darn, look, keep your eye to the ground, okay? I'm trying to school you here.
Man, I know there is a lot of people out there, like, I actually met a guy once, just randomly. I was walking somewhere and I bumped into a dude who was on his way to steal copper.
You be asking for me?
Fuck, you ask for Omar, you get him. I'm assuming he's not gonna kill Bubbles right there, but shit. Oh, this is amazing. I'm loving this editing. The awkwardness. This is incredible. That was incredible editing in that scene. It was like they did the conversation without using the words. It was just the reactions to everything that was said. That is incredible. Excellent choice. I don't know if that was written into the script to work like that or if that was a choice they made in editing afterwards, but whatever the reason for it, it fucking worked geniusly.
Signed and notarized. I don't want to argue about the money. I want to get back together.
Oh, so McNulty's had a change of heart now. I thought he was happy with his current predicament with, oh fuck, I forgot her name again. I'm so sorry. I knew her name as well. District Attorney lady. Thought he was happy with that setup.
I've been instructed by the Corrections Commissioner and the State Public Safety Secretary to announce that the maximum penalties will be sought against this officer.
That just worked flawlessly. That was an absolute genius master plan from start to finish. And it means we might get to see Avon on the street again by next season, hopefully. And D'Angelo by the end of the entire show, hopefully.
Time to make it clear to these people that we're not gonna go away.
Oh, they've made it to the fisherman's bar. Now they're getting into the thick of it. Please, Bunk, do not try the pint with the egg in it. It looks fucking horrible.
You ain't gonna play that country shit, right? I hate that country shit. No, not even Ray Charles can save that mess for me.
Bunk, did you put the money in? Yeah, let the man pick what he wants to pick.
Guess Port Police? I don't recognize either one of you.
City homicide.
It's just literally detainment.
Dead girls in a can?
That was an accident. That was a fucking accident. That's what I heard anyway.
Well, you heard wrong, unfortunately, Frank. You don't usually see Frank affected by any of this shit, man. He's actually vomiting. That shows you how stressful this situation is to him. I suppose, like, Frank's a nice guy as well. Like, he was already fucked up thinking they accidentally died. To now know they were all murdered will really fuck with his head. That was on his dock, they were murdered. Which makes me think, was Nicky in any way involved? Or Ziggy? I mean, you would fucking hope not, but that would be a horrific twist. Okay, and that was episode 4 of season 2 of The Wire, Hard Cases, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Hard Cases, what did I think of that? Well, man, sometimes you just have to applaud genius writing. Sometimes you can take something that could be done so simply and make it so much more than what you would assume it should be. And that's a true testament of a genius writer. Obviously, yes, portrayed brilliantly with great directing and acting, but the core of it all comes back to the cleverness of the person who actually sat down and wrote this episode out. This Tillman situation, when it started, it seemed like almost like just showing the lack of power that Avon and Weebay and shit now had whilst inside. They're used to ruling everything around them. And I thought the show was just trying to portray that power being taken away from them in a way inside, and just showing the humbling experience people of power would have to go through inside the prison system, being humbled like that. With what all it would take would be one CO to take a disliking to you. And yeah, you could have a tough time in there. And then when I saw Avon talking to Stringer about it, I was like, oh, okay, he's going to get this sorted out. Dope. So going into these episodes, I assumed it was going to lead to, like, you know, Stringer having some guys put on this Tillman and threaten him or beat him up or some shit, which would lead to Avon getting treated nicer. That's me being a bad writer thinking like that. Luckily, the writers of this show are far more genius than me, and they thought of the most incredible outcome that could potentially come of it, which is obviously going to lead to Avon's sentence getting significantly reduced. He's going to get a parole hearing in 1 year's time. That is fucking ridiculously good. And the way that all trickled out, and they worked D'Angelo into it, and that conversation with D'Angelo saved his life, and the fact Tillman got arrested for it, and it's going to lead to their reduced sentences of D'Angelo and Avon. I mean, that is just fucking poetry. Everything just works and ties in seamlessly like a fucking yin-yang. I got to applaud the writing on that. And the episode in general had a lot of bits like that where I was like, oh, that's amazing, they've done this, or that's amazing, they've done that. It was great to see Bubbles again, obviously, but a shame to see he's back to the height of his low, if that makes sense. And yeah, back on his old heroin addicty shit out there, but you know, he's doing what he's doing, I guess. But in some way, he got to Omar, so we did see Omar catch up to him. And Jimmy, is it? Or Johnny? We did see Omar catch up to them at the end of the episode. Something tells me Omar didn't kill them, but that's the last thing we saw was him pull the gun on them. So I think more than likely what you're gonna see is Bubbles will have told Omar that McNulty's looking for him, and Omar will probably, out of choice, approach McNulty himself. So it will work, just in a roundabout way, but I like how they portrayed that as well. It was done very dramatically. The other thing I loved in this episode was where Kima and Daniels agreed to go home and have these conversations with their spouses. And the fact that they didn't show dialogue and just reactions and cut quickly between the reactions of both sets of couples was fucking genius. Absolutely loved it. They showed everything without needing to say anything, and that is what movies were invented for. You know, the more you have to explain about a plot or a situation or what's going on is you taking away from the true meaning of the medium, which is to display the story through what you see. Obviously, conversations are natural, and I'm happy to have genius writing, obviously. I'm a writer, I love great dialogue, but to also show things visually is incredible, and the more you can do that in films, the better. I'm not saying everything has to be Mr. Bean or Charlie Chaplin, but somewhere in between modern great storytelling, great dialogue, you can also show and further the plot with great ideas visually, and this episode did that with that one dinner conversation scene, and it was incredible. And then on top of that, we got to see the old team reassemble. 2 episodes ago would have never have saw this coming, and I would have been completely happy with it not coming, but the fact that this shit is like this now is just fucking amazing. This season is getting better and better every single episode, for real. Like, now we've got Hawk, Kima, Daniels, Presbeluski, and Bunk and Lester Freeman all in the squad again, all investigating these docs. This shit is going to be incredible, and I think they'll probably incorporate the nice lady doc cop, Beatrix, is it, or Beatrice? Yeah, they'll probably bring her in as well. There might be like little sort of 2 teams working in this, because McNulty's obviously not allowed to join, Rawls said so, but McNulty's still down there doing his own investigation. He's not going to be not working closely with these people, it's all going to work and correspond with everything going on. So it's just going to be dope to see as it furthers. Also, we got Nikki and Ziggy doing wasteman shit, stealing, flashing their cash, and on top of that, Frank handled it badly at the start of this episode, and I knew that was going to encourage Nikki to do it again, and now he's trying to steal some weird vats of chemicals for the Greek. This is going to lead to a conflict between the Greek and Frank. There's already a conflict between Valchek and Frank, and now Frank's being investigated by a very, very, very above their pay grade detective unit, and all they want to do is make a case, because Daniels was promised by Burrell that if they make a case, they will be a top independent big crime unit, which means that in episode 3 they'll be like, you know what, we want to go back to the Barksdale case, which I mean, this shit is just getting so amazing. I'm loving how everything's tying in. If you have at least liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more videos like this, and ring the bell if you would like to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about from anything we just saw, or shoot the shit, or anything you want to recommend I react to in future, comment down below, and share this video around to anybody you think might appreciate it or want to watch this series along with us. My Patreon link is in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to exclusive polls and posts, you get access to these videos I put on YouTube weeks and weeks in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I post on YouTube. You do need your own copy of The Wire, but you can sync up my full-length reaction along with it, and then it's like we're chilling, watching a show. So consider becoming a patron, link in the description. It helps me and this channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.